Alrighty, Lee Cole here. This is our Monday Q&A. Hope y'all are doing fabulous and having a beginning of a good week, good productive week. First off, let me make sure that you can actually hear me and also see my screen. So could somebody just say, hey Lee, I hear you. I am unmuted on my end, so hopefully this is working, although one never knows. And hopefully you can actually see my screen, which is something that we got coming up next weekend. So if you could pop in the chat, hey Lee, I actually hear you, that would be wonderful. Yes, no, maybe, no I can't, yes I can, whatever. Earth to Lee, Lee to Earth. You guys hearing me, yes or no? Well, maybe I'll try the chat. Okay, can you guys hear me talking? Yes, yes, no, no. Peoples. Richard, thank you so much, buddy. Hey, Richard's, out of all these people, Richard's the only person actually paying attention. No, I'm just joking. But anyway, cool beans. We are on our Monday Q&A, and I had to skip a couple of Monday Q&As. I apologize for that. I had a little doctoring stuff to do. Turns out everything is fine. I'm apparently in really good shape, which is wonderful considering my age, which is not advanced, but it's probably somewhat old. And so, you know, but this stuff takes time, stressful, remarkably expensive. And so I had to cancel a couple of things. That's kind of why I got off track there for a while, but it's all good, back on track, and we're good to go. Next week on our Monday Q&A, we're gonna have a really, really cool interview with Mike Paul about Craigslist, so you'll definitely want to get on that. That's going to be a different registration from your general registration for the Monday Q&A. I keep a rolling registration for Monday Q&As just to make it easy for you guys. I will send out a link to that to you, and you can register for that. That will be tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week at the same time. Also, got three cool things coming up this week. You're looking at one of them. I'll get to this in a minute. Drew Laughlin has got a really cool PLR product. You know, Drew mainly sells PLR products. They're extremely high value, and I personally get all of them. I use the PLR in my offline business, but I also get it just because they're just, you know, I mean, technology changes so fast. There's stuff I don't know. And I actually read his reports, and that gets me up to speed on a lot of things. This one's about messenger bots, which is a new thing. There have been some trainings on this recently. I think it's really, really a great topic for a PLR thing. If you're in offline marketing, you're going to have clients asking you about this if you haven't already. If you're in online marketing and just strictly online marketing, you need to know about messenger bots. I got friends who are just killing it with like CPA and stuff like that just through messenger bots. So be on the lookout for that. After that, I've forgotten the exact date, midweek. Andrew Darius's team, the people who created Explandio, the video creator, they're coming out with a new video player. Why in God's name would somebody want to create yet another video player? Well, recently, what, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, something on that order, a year ago, I forgot when, Google, you know, they are the, what should you call Google? The smarty pants hall monitor of the internet world. But anyway, they decided that videos that automatically play, that they didn't like those. And so Google Chrome, the browser, shut down videos that automatically play. In other words, it, you know, if you had a video player with an automatic playing feature, it ceased to work. And you don't always want automatically playing videos. They can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but for things like sales funnels and stuff like that, when people are moving fast, when you got to get somebody's attention, they're really good to have. So Andrew and his team have come up with a video player that will bypass the Chrome issue, and also that where your videos will play automatically. This should be of interest to both on and offline marketers. I mean, how many people use Chrome? I don't. I think it's. I looked that up recently and I forgot the exact number. It's over 50%. 70% of the people on our business's email list use Gmail. So I mean, that should tell you something about Google's dominance. In other words, a lot of your traffic is coming from people who are using Chrome as a browser. So you want to take this seriously. And finally, at the next weekend, we are having a quick little sale. And this is what you see here. These are our advanced coaching replays. In the funnel somewhere, usually at the end of every product we sell, we sell coaching. All right, it's webinar-based group coaching, and people get a massive ton out of this. But a lot of people, well, you just can't kind of get tired of upsells. We try not to have too many upsells, but you kind of get tired of upsells. You buy the first thing and you like it, and then you go back, a few days later, and you're going to check out everything else. I mean, this is usually what I do. And well, by then the price has risen on the stuff because you missed the launch window and all that. So I thought it'd be a great idea to package up some of our most popular advanced coaching classes as replays. So when you buy an advanced coaching class, you come to the webinar as you are on this webinar right now, and that's all recorded, goes in a members area, et cetera, et cetera. The benefit of buying it at the time that a launch happens is you get to be on a webinar with me and you get to ask questions. But again, not everybody gets to take advantage of that. So we took the replays and we packaged these up into a bunch of, this is our first group of 5. And so I'll show you what's going to be in here. This is launching for a few days. I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'd have to look at our calendar. At a massive discount over what this would cost if you bought it a la carte right now. But these are the replays from the advanced coaching for our local business client machine, press release empire, offline email, gold mine, passive LinkedIn gold mine, and then LinkedIn consultant empire coaching. So all of that stuff, this is like 23 hours worth of really, really high level coaching. You can read all about it. I'm not quite done with this page. I wasn't actually quite ready to show this, but I thought, what the heck, I'll just show you guys what's headed your way. You can see exactly what's in here. This is like high level, cutting edge stuff that, I mean, if you just buy, if you've never bought any coaching or anything like that, then you don't get access to this level of training. But this would be a great purchase for you if you missed some of these or if you didn't buy any of these. So again, this is launching Friday. I'll be sending out emails toward the end of the week, and you can take a look at that. Okay, super. So this is Monday Q&A. So emphasizing the Q part. I need questions. I mean, I've been doing this stuff myself since 2007. What is that? Over 11 years. So I got plenty to talk about. I've been doing it full time since 2010 and making a multiple of what I used to make in my last job since 2010, which wasn't a bad job. But it's not like I was washing dishes at Waffle House. So I know a ton of stuff. I don't know everything, but I'm more than happy to help you. So with that said, I need a question, guys. So now's your time to ask me a question. Just type it into the chat, whatever you're interested in. If anybody's got something pressing, Let's hear it. I'm going to mute myself a moment and actually move one of my dogs from my office into the other room. So when I get back, hopefully we'll have a question. If not, I've got a few things to talk about myself that hopefully will help you out. All righty. So one of the dogs is out of the room at least. The other one just refused to budge. Now, got one question. You can keep typing as I talk. Somebody asked me, somebody's basically saying, it's a really good question. What is a sales funnel? Okay, I mean, it seems simplistic, but in point of fact, it's not. And I think a lot of people get really confused by that. So let's talk about that. What is a sales funnel? How do you use them? The importance of them? Why do I think that most people are kind of missing the boat on this? And if you can get what I'm about to tell you about sales funnels, this right here will massively increase whatever you're doing. So number one, a sales funnel is nothing more than a series. Well, online it's a series of web pages. All right. I mean that's how it exists. So if you're looking at offline marketing, then it's a series of marketing contacts with either prospects or with customers, people who've already bought. Online's pretty clear. I mean, you have things like, you know, a lot of funnels start with squeeze pages. You have, you know, let's just look at like affiliate marketing. So squeeze page gets you on a list. And then you have things like front end sales pages. You buy something, you know, you sort of go up the chain of OTOs. Hopefully those OTOs are, you know, related to and help you implement, use, expand on what you bought. Otherwise, it's kind of annoying. That's what these advanced coaching replays are. Actually, these are all pulled from all of our sales funnels. And you know, what is, you know, what's the goal of this? Well, I mean, the goal from the vendor's point of view is to yeah, I mean, it's always to make more money, but also the goal from the vendor's point of view, ethically, is to unpackage an entire training experience and have it, you know, sort of metered out at levels that different people can afford. So like you look at the funnel for this LinkedIn Business Client Machine. So it started out with the front end product, which was training for this and plus software. And then the next step, if I remember it correctly, was a bunch of done for you materials, which cost more. I've forgotten exactly what we had in there. I think we had a website, we had professionally written articles and stuff like that. But not everybody wants that. And also not everybody can afford that or wants to afford that, or even if they could afford it, not everybody wants to buy that. I mean, some people really want to just kind of get a little good information, get a little good software, test the waters, et cetera, et cetera. And then you get up to the coaching, you know, which right now this sells for $97 if you bought it from the other sales page. Not everybody wants the coaching. Not everybody wants to spend $100 for a coaching. Not everybody has $100 to spend for coaching or the time or whatever. So ethically, from the vendor's point of view, the funnel does two things. It's going to end up selling more, and it also takes an entire training experience or entire software experience and breaks it down into steps that people can understand. If you're talking about offline marketing, so let's say that you were in the bit, well, you're doing something like this. Okay, this product teaches you how to sell websites, email marketing management, et cetera, to offline businesses. So let's say that you're focused on selling websites, which is an incredibly good business to be in, by the way. Well, I mean, how do you break that down, right? I mean, how there's a bunch of ways of doing this. You could have like a base product website that you sell. In other words, for a couple of $1,000, Mr. and Ms. Prospect, you can choose any of these 5 types of websites. We will have that installed within 2 weeks. I mean, frankly, it's going to take all of 2 hours to install, but we'd have that installed in 2 weeks. That's kind of a base level purchase, right? Well, what if they want more? What if they need some more video stuff? What if they need to change the theme? What if they, I don't suggest you do this, but it is a way to go. What if they need some customization done? Well, that shouldn't be sold for the base price, right? That should be what we call an upsell. That should be the next thing that's sold. Well, then what if, so let's say that you're capable of selling more stuff. You're knowledgeable and have the software and have the experience to do things like Facebook ad management. I'm just naming a few things. Video marketing, along with creating, or maybe not you creating, but having professionals create really good videos for your client. That would be an upsell to the original sale. And so basically, I mean, you can easily work your way up into $5,000 or $10,000 there. I do it all the time, but not every prospect is going to want to do that. And furthermore, if you just showed everybody this, the final version, okay, so let's say, what would be good numbers? Let's say half of the sales you make are just the web, just the original website without any of the upsells. So that's like a $1,000 or $2,000 sale. And then let's say a fourth of the sales you make by everything. So let's say that's a $5,000 to $10,000 sale. If you were going to show the $5,000 or $10,000 price tag and all the other stuff to all the people who just bought the introductory website thing, they're not going to buy anything because they just started a business. They got to watch cash. It's not something they're interested in. They don't believe in video marketing. They hate Facebook, whatever. In other words, they would not buy the whole thing from you, right? But they would buy the website from you. And so that's why you cut it up into pieces. So let's go with the offline thing some more. A sales funnel, and while I'm talking, guys, this is Monday Q&A, so you're welcome to put in more questions here. A sales funnel, we usually think of, if you come strictly from online marketing, you think of a sales funnel because you got things like sales funnel builders, right? And you click this, put that there, drag and drop, blah, blah, blah. And then you have all these web pages that are somehow a sales funnel. They're not from a marketing point of view. They're just a series of pages that when you click on something, you're going to go to the next page. They're not really a sales funnel. They are just a thing that looks like a sales funnel. That's part of the point I'm trying to get across to you. But, a sales funnel is a seamless experience for a prospect from one step to the next to the next. So why do people buy from you in the first place? So people, this is true for affiliate marketing. This is true for CPA. This is true for offline marketing. This is true for if you owned a used car lot. Okay, why do people buy from you in the first place? I mean, think about what happens. They are exchanging money, which is a really odd form of time crystallized, right? So they are exchanging money for whatever it is you're selling, which means that unless they're just psychotic, they have to have a reason for doing that. They have to have a need, a scratch, an itch, a desire. It may be subconscious. You go to the drugstore and you buy a packet of gum because you have bad breath, or maybe you buy a packet of gum because you're nervous and you need something to do with your body, and so you decide that chewing is a good thing to do. You go to the dentist because your teeth are dull and gray and you want them whitened, or maybe you have a toothache. I mean, there are different levels of reasons. You wouldn't call all of them needs. You wouldn't necessarily call all of them wants or desires, but there's certain, I was telling somebody the other day, it's kind of like in it's kind of like in all these science fiction movies when you send up a rocket and you have the manned thing, whatever, and it's going to dock with the space station. Well, in order to get those people from that capsule into the space station, there has to be a place to dock, right? I mean, there has to be a, a receptacle for the package. Well, in order for someone to buy something, there has to be an emotional receptacle. Otherwise, they're just going to be totally uninterested. Okay. So when people screw up sales funnels, which I see just wildly all the time, it's when in step one. So let's say that you go to a bunch of network meetings, you get a bunch of cards, you put a bunch of people on your autoresponder, you put them on some sort of some sort of email thing where where you're trying to move them up to the next step. And let's say that's a 15-minute exploratory phone call with you. Well, the reason that they got on the list in the first place, all right, what was promised them when they got on the list, all right, the reason that they got on the list first place has to be a subset of the reason why they might want to get on the 15-minute phone call with you. And given that the phone call works, that you just sort of kick around a few ideas and it turns out that they actually are prospects for whatever it is you sell, then and you go to the first sale, the reason that they agreed to get on the 15-minute phone call with you has to be a sort of an emotional subset of the reason that they would buy the first product. And if you upsell them to more stuff, it has to be a related reason. All right, now that's my dog. One of the beauties of being me is I get to work at home with all my animals, and one of the hang on, Mark. I kind of lost my thought, Mark, my train of thought. I'll get it back because my dog barked and you had a great question all at the same time. But anyway, so funnels work. I mean, it has nothing to do with, the page builder. There's no magic, you get hit up all the time by some new, and funnel builders are great. Page builders are great. I use them in our businesses all the time, or rather other people do for me. But just because you have a series of steps does not mean those steps are going to work. All right. And especially, and hear this part, especially doesn't mean that they're going to get up to the last big step, right? Now, they may get on your email list, but what if they never buy? Or for offline marketing, they may get on your email list, but what if they never get on that 15-minute phone call with you? And what if they never call you and say, hey, I want, I need you to do blah, blah, blah. What if that happens? Well, big whoop. So now you got one more useless email on your email list, right? And what if they get on that 15-minute phone call, but you never sell them anything? Well, then that's just 15 minutes wasted. And what if you sell them something? You sell them a bunch of $500 to $1,000, front end introductory things, products, services, whatever, but you can't get anybody up to the 10,000 mark. Or you can't get anybody up to the $1,000 or $2,000 a month recurring income mark. I mean, what if you can't do that? Well, then, that's harder than actually having a job trying to piece this together, selling a bunch of people $500 to $1,000 one-offs. Because, not only do you have to deal with all those people, and, you have to sell what, 10 to 20 units a month in order to have a halfway decent income. But then not only do you have to deal with that, but you got to deal with all the prospecting you need to do in order to do the same thing next month. All right. Where funnels fail has nothing to do with technology. It never had anything to do with technology and never will have anything to do with technology. Where funnels fail has everything to do with understanding the emotions of the sales experience and making sure, now here is like the mega golden nugget that I'm about to drop. So hopefully you've been listening, but if you haven't been listening, you want to hear this next thing. You need to figure out why someone would buy the big thing at the end of the funnel, all right? I mean, we don't have enough time to go into features and benefits. Somebody will remind me. I'll talk next week. Well, it won't be next week. It'll be the following week because we have an interview next week with Mike Paul. But I mean, I can talk from now until the cows come home about benefits and features. It is so simple, or so central rather. It's fairly simple when you understand it also. But if you if you've got people going through your funnel, and if the benefits and features are lined up on the last sale so that you would have people buying that last sale, let's say a significant portion of them, all right? Then, so if you get people to the last sale, then you will make a significant amount of money. But what you have to do is you have to understand the benefits. This is all emotions. This is all marketing, and marketing is all about emotions. It is not about technology. But you have to understand the emotions of why someone would buy your $10,000 video marketing package, why someone would buy your $2,000 per month marketing, whatever. You got to understand what they're getting out of that, and then why they would buy that in the first place. And now here's the giant mega golden nugget. You have to take those benefits and you have to pull them forward to each step of the funnel that leads up there. So let's say we got 4 steps that lead up to that final mega sale. You want to be making mega sales, okay? Because the goal here is not to work harder. The goal here is to work less and make more money. So you got to figure out why they're, making that, why they would buy that mega sale. And then you got to take those same emotions and benefits, and you got to make sure that they see that same thing, that they respond to that same thing at every step. So in step 3, which leads up to step 4, it's got to be a sort of emotional subset of step 4, and step 2 has to be an emotional subset of step 3, and step 1 has to be an emotional subset of step 2. I learned this, God knows, I mean, it makes common sense when you articulate it, but I learned this actually from Ed Dale. In 2007 or so, I bought some training from him, and he had this beautiful picture. He had a picture of, it was, imagine yourself in a canoe and you've got your, your cell phone, your camera or something, and you're going down a river, and you take a picture that shows the front half of the canoe, the rest of the river stretching out to infinity, right? That kind of thing. In other words, the canoe going down a river. That's one picture. The other picture would be out of the front window of your car. Every now and then on like little side streets, you will see a street that just stops and it really doesn't go anywhere, except it just goes in one direction, which is either a 90-degree right turn or a 90-degree left turn. And here in the United States, we always have a big yellow sign there with a big arrow that tells you what to do so that you don't run into the guy's yard who lives in a house behind the sign. You know what I'm saying? So imagine those 2 pictures. I wish I had 2 pictures. Maybe I'll do that just so when I talk about this, I can make it really clear, as Ed Dale made it really clear to me. But imagine those 2 pictures. Most sales funnels that I see people create, series of sales experience that I see people create, whether they're online or offline, looks like picture number 2, which is the hard right turn or the hard left turn. They don't look like the canoe going down the lazy river. Let's say it's not a whitewater river. It's just a lazy, big, slow-moving river. Just the canoe going down the river. It's not hard. All you got to do is keep the thing out in the middle of the river, and you will make it to your destination. This is really not hard. It's just like going down a slide or something. That's what you want to achieve. But what achieves that is the emotions, making sure that the emotions are coherent. And you don't make them coherent from the front to the back. You make them coherent from the back to the front. Okay, so this goes into what Stephen Covey said in the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. I think habit number 1 was begin with the end in mind. You need to understand that last step, and then you need to pull it forward so that there's nothing jarring emotionally. Your prospect, whether you have no idea who's going through your funnel like you do, I mean, it's just what we call traffic, which is the world's stupidest word online, but just, digital people going through your funnel, whether it's those people or whether it's an offline sales experience where you actually talk to people, where you actually might go to, someone's office, meet them at Starbucks or whatever. But that whole experience needs to be straight, just a straight shot emotionally. If you can get that figured out into your sales funnels, I guarantee you, you're going to massively increase your conversions. It has nothing to do with your builder. It has nothing to do with this latest whiz bang. This idea is as old as dirt. I mean, you can read about this if you read about sales and copywriting. I have a collection of sales books from the from the latter part of the 1800s. That would be the 19th century. Yeah. So 2 centuries ago, it's the same freaking thing. Everything's the same thing. Why human beings didn't change. Cool beans. So let's talk about Mark's question, and then we'll call it a day. Do you have clients who have this working in the UK, or is it more conducive for US offline business? Mark, are you talking about this? What we're looking at here, local business client machine? Or were you talking about the sales funnel thing? Mike, the sales funnel thing is just human nature. I mean, this would have worked with, you know how they found that frozen Neolithic man in the Alps like 20 years ago or something like that? Well, back when he was alive, this would have worked with him. Local business, yeah, no, Mark, this absolutely works in the UK. There is nothing US based about this. Some of the words I use may be American English, but beyond that, no. The deal, Mark, with local business client machine and with actually, I mean, there's literally nothing. Even press release Empire. Yeah, I mean that there's nothing specifically US about that. There's nothing specifically US about this or really that. Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Offline products, what to sell and how to sell them. Creating a sales funnel. Well, you know, I told you a little bit about that. Yeah, there's nothing that you guys across the pond would think, well, that works over there, but it's not going to work over here. All right. That kind of thing, you know, I mean, where it's so specific to a specific area, generally, I've never seen that actually work anyway, stuff like that. I'm just kind of looking through here at all these things. There is nothing American about any of this, except for the fact that it's me. All right, so you're good to go on this. So awesome, guys. Anything else great question, Mark. Thank you so much. Anything else that I can help you with before we call it a day? We've got another Q&A in the books. On the registration page that I sent you yesterday, and I think I sent it out Saturday too. Hang on, let's do this because it's going to make life easier for you. I'm going to show you where you can look at all of the Q&As forever. All right, because there is a ton of information that ends up in these free Monday Q&As right here on the same page you registered on. Let me pop that in the chat. I just popped that in the chat for you guys. If you'll scroll down as I just did, and if you'll say click here to watch past episodes, it's going to go to a playlist on YouTube, and you will see past Monday Q&As. Give me about a day, and this one here will be in here on this playlist. So you can see everything there. Cool beans, guys. Thank you so much for being on here. We talked about what's coming up this week. Let me reach out to me. Let me know how I can help your businesses. And y'all have a wonderful week. Look forward to a very productive week for you. Talk to you, if not sooner. We will talk again next Monday. Bye. You bet, Sania. Good to have you on a webinar again.